Namaskar friends. Pakistan has been agog with discussions around a secret meeting held recently in Murree that was attended by the three Sharifs, Nawaz, Shehbaz and Mariam, the Army Chief Asim Munir and DG ISI Asim Malik. What was supposedly discussed at that meeting could well portend the political endgame in Pakistan for at least a couple of years and perhaps beyond. I am Tilak Devasher and you are watching The Great Game Reloaded. Do like, share and comment. The Murree meeting was held primarily to finalize the future political scenario hinged on the extension of Asim Munir as Army Chief. Asim Munir completes his 3-year tenure as Army Chief on 28th November 2025. But here's the thing, he doesn't want to retire and go home. In November 2024, an amendment to the Army Act 1952 allowed the Army Chief a 5-year tenure. The debate in Pakistan is not whether Munir would get an extension or not, but rather, would he get a 2-year extension, allowing him to continue up to November 2027, or would he be appointed for a 5-year term in November 2025, allowing him to continue till 2030. Not surprisingly, Munir seems to have expressed his preference for a full 5-year term starting from November 2025. He had hinted at this during a speech he made to the Pak diaspora in the US after his meeting with President Trump. He claimed that it would take up to 2035 to fix Pakistan's economy and he would be around till then. The catch is that there is no clarity if the current 3-year term of the Army Chief is to be counted within the 5-year tenure, allowing him another 2 years, or will there be a fresh 5-year term? In any case, the government would have to issue a notification for either a 2-year extension or a 5-year appointment. In other words, the Prime Minister has to recommend it and the President, as the Supreme Commander, has to approve it. This is where the politicians come in. The only time when the politicians can influence the Army Chief is when it is time to either appoint a new one or give an incumbent an extension. Civil-military relations have defined Pakistan's political history, and no civilian leader exemplifies this more than Nawaz Sharif. He has the dubious record of messing up most of the appointments. Across 3 terms as Prime Minister, he has appointed 4 regular Army Chiefs and 1 Chief who lasted only for a day. Each choice carried hopes of loyalty and cooperation, but ultimately reshaped his political journey in ways he did not expect. Apart from appointments, Nawaz is known to be against extensions. But before asking whether Nawaz would be amenable to giving Munir an extension, let's take a look at his record of appointments of Army Chiefs. He appointed General Wahid Kakar 1993 to 1996 during his first term. Kakar was known for his neutral role in politics. In 1993, when Nawaz Sharif and President Ghulam Isha Khan were locked in a bitter power struggle, he persuaded both men to resign for the sake of political stability, ending Nawaz's first term prematurely. Kakar earned the reputation as a professional soldier who avoided direct interference. He is considered one of the few Army Chiefs in Pakistan's history who resisted the temptation of seizing power despite having the opportunity. He also underlined the lesson that Army Chiefs don't take orders from Prime Ministers. They make their own calculations and are loyal not to the politicians who appointed them, but to their institution, the Army. Nawaz next appointed General Pervez Musharraf, 1998-2007, superseding several senior generals. Nawaz forgot the lesson of Kakar and expected loyalty from a general who owed his promotion to the Prime Minister. Due to the Kargil fiasco, Musharraf soon became the most controversial choice. In October 1999, Nawaz Sharif attempted to dismiss him while Musharraf was on a flight back from Sri Lanka. He even appointed another officer, Lieutenant General Ziauddin, the ISI head, as Army Chief to succeed Musharraf. The army staged a coup, ousting Nawaz Sharif and placing him under arrest. An inquiry was held against Ziauddin, who was later allowed to retire from service. Nawaz was jailed, later exiled to Saudi Arabia. Musharraf became chief executive, later president of Pakistan, ruling the country for almost a decade. This appointment remains one of Nawaz Sharif's most fateful political miscalculation. For Sharif, Musharraf's coup remains a symbol of betrayal, but in reality, it was Sharif's miscalculation in believing that personal loyalty could outweigh institutional power. General Raheel Sharif, 2013-2016, was appointed during Nawaz Sharif's third term. Initially perceived as a safe choice with no political ambitions, Raheel Sharif gained immense popularity for leading Operation Zarb-e-Azb, a military campaign against terrorist groups, and for his strong stance on internal security. His image as a decisive, patriotic leader overshadowed the civilian Sharif. His photos adorned trucks, his name became a slogan, and his approval ratings soared above politicians. Raheel's larger-than-life presence exposed the weakness of civilian governance. In 2014, when Nawaz faced a political crisis, that is the PTI's sit-in, Raheel acted as a mediator, much like Kakar 2 decades earlier. There were unconfirmed reports that Raheel Sharif wanted an extension, but Nawaz declined. In the event, he retired on time in 2016, enhancing his reputation as a professional soldier. His tenure reinforced a pattern. Army chiefs defined the political space even without seizing power. Nawaz Sharif appointed General Kaber Javed Bajwa 2016-2022 as Raheel Sharif's successor. Initially seen as apolitical, Bajwa became a highly controversial figure and a highly political army chief. Nawaz Sharif was disqualified in 2017 during Bajwa's tenure, and Nawaz openly accused him of orchestrating his removal. Bajwa was later seen as a key backer of Imran Khan before eventually falling out with him and maneuvering to remove him too. By the end of his term, Bajwa publicly admitted that the army had been interfering in politics and announced a policy of neutrality. Bajwa's role deepened Nawaz's narrative of vote ko izzat do, respect the vote, as Sharif positioned himself as the civilian leader consistently undermined by military interference. Thus, Nawaz Sharif's relationship with Pakistan's powerful military has been turbulent, and his choice of army chiefs reflect this. Kakar remained neutral but eased him and the president out of their respective offices. Musharraf overthrew him. Raheel Sharif became more popular than him. Bajwa undermined him and caused his ouster. Each appointment shaped not just Sharif's political fortunes, but also Pakistan's political and military trajectory. An overview of Nawaz Sharif would show that he consistently sought pliable or safe army chiefs, but every appointment ended up undermining him, either through coups, overshadowing, or political engineering. Nawaz's misfortune lay in underestimating this imbalance repeatedly. This pattern illustrates Pakistan's structural imbalance. Army chiefs operate with institutional autonomy and political clout that no prime minister can easily contain. Given this history, Nawaz is now faced with another crossroads, because he, rather than his younger brother, Shehbaz Sharif, the Prime Minister, calls the shots. The choices are stark. 1. Does he or doesn't he agree to an extension to Asim Munir? 2. Does he agree to a 2-year extension for Asim Munir? 3. Or does he accept a 5-year appointment till 2030? Then the inevitable question, what is in it for him in all this? It's a well-known fact that Nawaz feels let down not becoming the Prime Minister and seeing the post go to his younger brother. He has some satisfaction in seeing his daughter being the Chief Minister of the most important province in Pakistan, Punjab. But he does nurse ambitions of becoming Prime Minister again, and this time completing a full 5-year tenure. These were the issues that seemed to have been discussed in Murree. While details are not known, snippets of what was discussed are coming out slowly. According to one senior PMLN politician, Rana Sanaullah, agreement was reached on the extension. Initially, he said for 2 years. Later, he was possibly, quote-unquote, persuaded to say up to 2030. Curiously, another senior PMLN politician, Khwaja Asif, jumped into the fray and said no decision has been taken. Asif is known to be close to Nawaz Sharif, and quite possibly he was signalling that Nawaz is not keen on a 5 years appointment. Such statements and hints and signalling are likely to continue till a formal notification is issued that would clarify if there would be a 2-year extension or a 5 years appointment. Where does Imran Khan, prisoner number 804, fit into all of this? Despite everything that the army has thrown at him, he has refused to do any deal, and neither has he faded away. His party, despite some hiccups, has stuck with him. He has suffered a lot of personal hardships in jail, as has his close and extended family, but he has not budged. His plight has become the subject of discussion in the US Congress. The Pakistan Democracy Act was introduced with bipartisan consensus in the House of Representatives in March 2025. It explicitly accuses Munir of, quote, knowingly engaging in the wrongful persecution and imprisonment of political opponents, unquote, and seeks sanction against him for persecuting political opponents. Senator Chris Van Hollen, Democrat Maryland, has followed this up by writing a scathing letter to Pakistan's ambassador in Washington, calling the crackdown on free expression, political opposition, and the jailing of Imran Khan. He even promised a Senate hearing on Pakistan's democratic backsliding. Imagine the humiliation. Pakistan's most powerful man, the army chief, facing sanctions from Washington. According to reports in Pakistan, during the lunch that President Trump had with Asim Munir, the subject of Imran Khan's release had also come up. Thus, pressure is building up for the army and the government to release Imran Khan. Imran Khan is a thorn on the side of not only the army and especially Asim Munir, but also of the Sharifs. They are aware that in any free and fair elections, they would lose and Imran Khan would win hands down. The politics of patronage that they had used over decades to create influence and strengthen their position in Punjab has been demolished by the popularity of Imran Khan. The youth especially has been enamored by the slogans of Imran Khan of Tabdili, Riyasat-e-Madina, Hakiki Azadi, and so on. The PTI's social media machinery is streets ahead of that of the traditional parties like the Pakistan Muslim League or the PPP for that matter. Nawaz Sharif realizes that so long as Imran Khan is a factor in politics, he would need Asim Munir, despite not trusting him. Without the protection of Munir, the Sharifs would stand to lose everything they have created, including securing a political future for the next generation of Sharifs. Hence, there is a natural alliance between Asim Munir and the Sharifs, as both are opposed to Imran Khan. Neither can afford to have Imran Khan back in politics. Reports from Pakistan indicate that the meeting in Murree also discussed what was to be done with Imran Khan. Interestingly, rumors about Imran Khan being unwell started surfacing after this meeting. Despite such rumors being dispelled by Imran's sister, who met him recently, they persist. The talk in Pakistan is that stories about Imran's ill health could be a precursor to harming him in some manner, using these reports about him being unwell. Despite his reservations about giving extensions, Nawaz may not have any alternative to acquiescing in Asim Munir's demand. The only issue would be whether it is a 2-year extension or a full 5-year term in November, and crucially, whether a 2-year extension would be acceptable to Munir. Interestingly, Munir's ambitions are not limited to an extension or a fresh term. He seems to have set his eyes on the presidency too. This is sending jitters down the spine of the incumbent President Asif Zardari. Thus, the next 3 months are going to be very important and significant in Pakistan, with rumours and kite flying happening on a daily basis. The meeting in Murree was the first step in this unfolding drama. I will keep you posted as further developments take place. Thank you for watching. Do like, share and comment. See you soon with another episode. Till the next time, I am Tilak Devasher. Namaskar and Jai Hind.